You have a better car story, though. When Anthony's done with his cars, he just leaves them where they break down.
Yeah. Well, that's what I used to do. When I had my crap, everyone's had the crappy car.
Have we ever found your old car?
No, we haven't.
Anthony's old car is somewhere between here, New York City, and Boston, Massachusetts.
It was in the Mamaroneck area of New York where it broke down. It finally just, it always made this ticking noise. It tick, 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 tick. It was a Dodge Aries K car, circa 1986. Wonderful motor vehicle. And it was ticking. Tick, 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 tick. But I always heard the tick. And then it got to the point where I was like, is that tick getting louder?
And louder?
I can't tell. So you just turn the radio up. That's what you do. And then it just made a sound like the engine fell out. And lights lighting up that I had never seen before on the dashboard. Just, I was looking, it was so many lights and smoke, I was looking for an ejector handle. I was sure my fighter jet was going down. Couldn't possibly be a motor vehicle.
Get me out.
Couldn't have been a car. It was just frightening. Then I made it up the ramp, getting off on Mamaroneck. And, yeah, I looked at the car. I realized at the time I had just about had the means to get a new car, but I was just milking this for all it was worth. And I realized, okay, now I just have to do it. Got the screwdriver out, undid the plates, and started walking.
Just left it.
Just left it. And the best thing to do when you got to leave your car, you go to the nearest U-Haul, a Ryder place. Instead of renting a car, because rental cars cost a lot of money, you could get a Ryder truck. It's one way, so you don't got to bring it back. And it's like $19. $19. You got to pay the deposit, but when you bring it back, so I just drove a big Ryder truck back.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Not bad at all.
Works great.
Yeah.
No, Rick, I didn't torch it. That wasn't my specialty. I'd been around people, though, that torched their cars, which is just amazing. A couple of guys I knew, they were into racing out there in Riverhead Raceway out east in Englishtown, New Jersey, and they'd build their own cars and race them in, like, one of the lower classes. They were jealous of this one kid in the neighborhood that had a really nice Nova, a little old box Nova. And one night they stole his box Nova, stripped it of all the good stuff, and burnt it. Just torched it. So I know what's going on. Like, they told me they were doing this and everything. I wasn't directly involved, but I had knowledge. So they go out, and all of a sudden I hear very, very slight in the background.
Oh, boy.
Like, oh, boy, they did it. Oh, man. And you get that eerie feeling that you know where the cops are going when you're in on a crime or something like that.
Yeah.
And, yeah, they torched it. I never torched the car. I would just abandon them.
Well, my dad would lose old cars like old pets. I've told the story a few times on the air, but when my family was done with the family car, my dad would take it for a ride. Kind of like when, your dog's getting old and stuff and it's time to put him asleep, and Dad has that job of taking old Sparky or Smokey or Fresca, in my case.
Oh, Lil Fresca.
For a ride, and then he comes back by himself. What happened to the dog? We've all been there, right? And he comes up with some nice story about how the dog's now living on a farm in upstate New York.
On a farm. He's running free.
Well, my dad used to do that with cars, too.
With cars, too?
Yes.
He'd take the old family car out and just... Would he torch him?
No, but he would do kind of what you did. Just take the plates off and hope for the best. Now, my dad, he got lazy in his old age, though, because, like, when I was growing up, he would leave the cars, like, on the Bronx expressway, which used to be a great place to just leave your car.
That was good. There were plenty of really good places around New York.
You got to explain the Bronx expressway for, like, out-of-towners. I mean, if you broke down on the Bronx expressway... Let's say you ran out of gas. Yeah. And you got to go to the next exit just to get gas and come back. Maybe the trip, maybe 20 minutes it'll take, okay? Yeah. To get the gas, get back to your car. Your car will be completely gone like a bunch of crickets attacked
ants, yeah. It was like that.
Like a bunch of ants attacked a cricket. They would take everything.
Yeah, you would get back to your car.
You would have the frame left. That's about it.
The doors are off. There's just wires hanging out from where electronic equipment was, and your tires, of course, gone. And, yeah, there were plenty of places like that. The Bronx, though, very good. It looked like the highway of death in in Kuwait.
Yeah.
And they were all trying to leave back to back.
Yeah.
You just see burnt out hulks of vehicles.
They've cleaned up that area as far as that goes.
Yeah, you don't see as many.
You can't really leave your car there anymore.
Around anywhere in New York, you really don't see as many abandoned and ripped up cars as you used to.
But back in the day, my dad would use like underpasses near like the river, and then the cross Bronx expressway. Now he's getting up there in age now and stuff. The last family car he let off, half a mile from the house.
Really?
In a parking lot. I think it was like the Friendly's parking lot up the street. I'm like, Dad, what are you doing? That's our car. And then
what did he do?
And then he would deny that it's our car. I'm like, no, it's our car. What are you doing?
Did you walk?
I should get my.
Did you walk by and go?
Yeah, my whole family. I should get my brothers on the phone because they were still living in the house at the time because they're a bit younger than me.
You just walk.
And they would be
past and
screaming
go,
at my dad like, Dad, why is the Toyota or whatever up the street? That's not our car. No, it is.
He would deny it. That's great.
Yeah, it has the Harbor Fields High School bumper sticker on it. That's our car. What are you doing?
Nope. No, it isn't. Clever. He never cracked?
No, he never cracked. We were so embarrassed.
This is not our car.
But he never got
This
caught.
is not the car you're looking for.
That Toyota stayed in that parking lot for, I don't know, 3-4 months, and then one day it was just gone.
They tow it away.
They just towed it away
Eventually.
finally. So that's what my dad used to do. Like the old pets, he would get rid of the old cars.
Also, back in the ancient days, you used to be able to take your car to the local junkyard, and he'd give you like $20-$30 for it. So as long as you could limp it in there, you'd be fine. Now I don't know what it is. It's like, you need all kinds of documents and the title. Back, I remember taking a car there. I had nothing. There were no plates on it. I might as well have just stolen it. You drive it in. All right, I'll give you $30. All right, some weed money.
There you have it. Brian's a repo man. Hey, Brian.
How about Brett?
Huh?
Brett, you mean?
Yeah, whatever your name is.
What's your name?
I'm the repo guy. My name's Brett.
Oh, what's up, Brett?
How's it going, guys?
All right.
I got a horror story about a guy who tore up a Land Rover on me, man. I booted it up, I locked it up on a wheel, and he came back, broke my stuff off, right, and crashed it right into a concrete wall. Right, just because I was repoing his car, man. I couldn't believe it, man, but that's how it works, I guess.
Who was responsible for the car?
Well, he still will be. I mean, they'll just take it to auction, see if somebody will pay for it, but I doubt it.
Yeah.
That thing is trash.
There's a bit we used to do on the air. We got it from Rick, matter of fact, because I think Rick brought this bit to the table, where we had the repo guys, repo cars live on the air.
Yeah.
Pretty funny stuff. Maybe we could get one happening today. We'll see.
Hey, I'll do it for you, man.
Yeah?
Yeah, sure. I got to be down in the Bronx a little later on.
All right, give us a call back, Brett, all right?
I will. I'm going to the Mets game first, so.
All right, hold on, because we'll call you back and everything.
Sweet.
We love this bit. We haven't done it in a while. Gerard. What's up, Gerard?
Hey, guys. Anthony. Actually, this question's for Anthony and Opie.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever hear of trade-ins instead of just leaving the car on the side of the road?
Gerard, how long have you been listening to us?
Oh, yeah, I guess you're right.
We're pretty lazy.
Yeah, it's pretty true.
And not only that, the cars that I had, there was no trade-in. And the financial state I was in, I wasn't going to go buy a car on a lot or something. Any car I got up until 1995, any car I got was bought out of the newspaper for no more than $500.
Yeah,
Every
I guess you're
single
right.
car
you knock
owned.
pins for a living, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a plump, so I know how it was. So I guess I can't knock you for that.
I go into the paper.
Come on, your father couldn't do it.
We were poor, man.
Oh,
We were poor. My dad was pretty lazy too.
oh well.
And like Anthony, we ran these cars into the ground. I mean, that Toyota had 250,000 miles or something
You run them
ridiculous.
until they stop running, and then you get yourself another one.
How much are you going to get for that? A couple $100, maybe.
Maybe, but it's worth a shot, right? Let it. I coasted a pickup truck into it. I literally had no transmission.
Yeah.
Let it coast in, and they gave me $1,000 for the damn thing because it was a pickup truck.
Right on.
The first relatively new vehicle I had was my mother co-signed for it, and I just effed her over. She co-signed for a Monza. Remember the old Chevy Monza? What an awful car. Why does it have a Pinto? There was a Chevy Monza, and it was 3 years old or 5 years old or whatever it was, but still it was, making payments and a loan, and my mother co-signed for it. I think I made about 3 payments. 3 payments. and then just was like, well.
Did
now
they take
gotta
it from
find-
you?
Yeah, that was the one I played the hiding game with.
Weren't you living in that car, too?
At one time, I had to live in that car. Yeah, it was all I had. I was working. See, because
It was your home and your car.
the car cost me my job, which was paying for everything. And the repo guy came to my job where I was working. I was working at some place out in Hop Hog in the industrial park out there. And the big repo guy comes, and he's a huge guy, and he's like, I'm taking the car. And I'm like, look, I was going to make that payment, you know, all the lies that you tell and everything. And I talked him into, I said, come back tomorrow. I work here. I will have the money or I will hand you the keys. I go, I will have the money. I just need one more day. And the guy said, all right, I am coming back here tomorrow. I quit my job. I had to quit because I knew I could get another job with the car, but I couldn't keep going to this job without a car. So I would have been fired anyway, so I might as well leave the job, keep the car. And then I had to hide it. So they didn't know where I lived. I changed addresses every other week. I was room for rent kind of thing. And I'd park it all over the place. Just camouflage it under a tree, in between two cars, very far away from where I lived. And then someone must have ratted me out because they picked it up from the Green Lawn train station parking lot.
No.
Yep, I came out one day. I was like, oh, no. Oh, no. Now I have absolutely nothing. Okay, that was all I had. Now I walk out and I'm just like, I have nothing.
Was your stuff in the car, too?
Yeah.
So they took the stuff?
Everything. They shipped it back in a big box. They shipped it. Well, I had a place to live at that point when they finally took it. But all the other stuff that I had in there, you know, stuff you just keep in your car, they sent it back in a big box. All banged up.
That's it. All right, we got to step aside.
Prepare to be wowed.